What's going on, you guys? So in this video, I'm going to be drawing some parallels between this cryptocurrency madness that's going on, as well as what was happening during the dot-com burst, or when there was the dot-com bubble forming back in the early 2000s. Now, I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be thinking I'm saying, oh, Bitcoin is a bubble, oh, cryptocurrencies are a bubble. I'm not talking about all cryptocurrencies out there. In fact, I'm not even talking about Bitcoin or actual cryptocurrencies themselves. What I'm talking about is people taking advantage of this hype and rebranding themselves as cryptocurrency companies. And it's utter stupidity at this point that people are investing in these companies. And this is where problems form when you see things like this happening. This is where the bubbles form. It's not a result of Bitcoin itself. It's a result of these spin-off companies that are emerging, of people just taking advantage of the hype surrounding cryptocurrencies, and then dumb investors who don't know what they're buying, investing in something solely due to the fact that it should supposedly involve cryptocurrencies. So I got a couple articles I want to take a look at here. The first one here is about this tobacco company that makes a hard pivot to cryptocurrency mining. So this is a tobacco company that they decided, you know what, there's no money to be made in tobacco. Let's go ahead and become a cryptocurrency company. That sounds like a reasonable thing to do. You know, if you're involved in tobacco, that means you're more than qualified to get involved in cryptocurrency mining, right? I see no issues with that. And again, I have all these articles linked up in the description if you guys want to check these out yourself, but I'm going to give you an overview of what is mentioned here. So, Rich Cigars just made the ultimate pivot. They decided to change their business. They went from selling high-end cigars and tobacco products to cryptocurrency. They're now involved in cryptocurrency mining. This is just laughable at this point, guys, but it says the Miami-based company announced Thursday it had become Intercontinental Technology, Inc., and it was phasing out the cigar part of the business, aka the entire business. They basically got rid of their entire business. They were a cigar/tobacco company, and they woke up one day and said, you know what, we're going to be a cryptocurrency company now. We're going to be a cryptocurrency mining company. And I'm sure you guys can just take a wild guess as to what happened to the share price. This is a penny stock that trades on the over-the-counter exchanges, but I got the stock chart right up here, guys. This is when they made the announcement, all right? This is absolute insanity. The stock went from 3 cents a share on Wednesday, December 13th to 70 cents a share on Thursday. The stock went from 3 cents a share to 70 cents a share just on the announcement that they are rebranding themselves as a cryptocurrency company and turning themselves into Intercontinental Technology, Inc. And since then, the stock is down big. It's falling fast. And it's just unbelievable to me that there are people out there that would throw money into a company like this, some garbage tobacco company that decided overnight that they're going to turn into a cryptocurrency mining company. What would a tobacco company know about mining cryptocurrencies? It's just absolutely absurd. It's just stupid to me. And this is the problem that we're facing. We're seeing companies that have no business being involved in cryptocurrencies now deciding to get involved just due to the hype, and they're trying to take advantage of people just because they know people will invest in them if they become a cryptocurrency company. This is the same exact thing that happened during the dot-com bubble, was you had companies that had nothing to do with the internet deciding to become a dot-com company and branding themselves as an internet company, and as a result, everyone started investing in them just because of the fact that they had .com in the name, or they told people they had plans to become an internet company when they had no reason or no experience that would allow them to do that or give them any reason to do that. So here was a screenshot taken after that announcement. The stock was up 2,233.33% in one trading day, going from 3 cents a share to 70 cents a share, just on the announcement that they're rebranding themselves as a cryptocurrency mining company and getting out of the whole tobacco game. Guys, I don't even really have anything else to say about this other than the fact that this is just stupid. I don't know who's investing in these penny stocks that are now all of a sudden becoming cryptocurrency companies, but I hope everyone understands this is stupid and nobody should be doing this, but somebody's doing it. Someone out there is buying into this because we are seeing these stocks go crazy, just blowing up in a very short period of time. So somebody is buying these things. I hope it's nobody watching my channel. I hope it's nobody who has any common sense when it comes to investing, because there's no common sense involved here. There's no thought involved here. It is simply seeing something that is somewhat related to cryptocurrency or having cryptocurrency in the name and then just buying it for absolutely no reason at all. And this isn't even the only example I have of this. So here's another company here, Long Island Iced Tea. So this is an iced tea company. It says Long Island Iced Tea shares went gangbuster after changing its name to Long Blockchain. It changed its name from Long Island Iced Tea to Long Blockchain, and the shares blew up. Does this make sense to anyone? Why an iced tea company or a tobacco company would make a hard pivot and change themselves overnight and get involved with cryptocurrency and then see investors just throwing money at these stocks? Does this make any sense to anyone, any reasonable investors out there? I hope the answer to that question is absolutely not. And this article explains things very well here. It says, want to increase your company's value on the open market? Just change your name to something blockchain. So maybe I should change my channel name to Ryan Blockchain, and I'll see a boost in my subscribers. I'm not saying I would actually do that, but that is pretty much what these companies out there are doing. These are shit companies that are deciding, okay, you know what, this whole thing we're doing, this whole business we're involved in, isn't really working out for us. So what should we do? Well, why don't we become a cryptocurrency company? Why don't we get involved with blockchain? So after Long Island Iced Tea changed its name to Long Blockchain, the company's shares soared as much as 500% in pre-market trading. So they simply changed their name with no real plans to become a blockchain company. They're still an iced tea company that has rebranded themselves as Long Blockchain, and the shares go up 500%. This right here is what is forming a bubble. It is these shit companies that are trying to take advantage of people and rebrand themselves as cryptocurrency companies that have no business being involved with anything related to cryptocurrency. This is the problem. The problem is not Bitcoin. The problem is not Ethereum, Litecoin, other things like that. The problem is people taking advantage of the hype and idiot investors buying into it. This is how bubbles are formed. This is the exact same thing that happened during the dot-com boom in the 2000s. There were legitimate dot-com companies that were emerging and going public, but there were a ton of companies that had no business being involved in being an internet company that were basically getting people to invest in them solely for the name. And this is what forms a bubble. It is when you see stocks go up in value, stock prices appreciating on a speculative basis that have no business being involved in that particular industry. So Long Blockchain says that they are going to phase out their non-alcoholic iced teas and lemonades and consider that to be a subsidiary of their business, but they're mainly seeking to partner or invest with companies involved with blockchain technology and would like NASDAQ to change the company's trading symbol to reflect the new effort. So they literally went from selling iced tea and lemonade to being involved or trying to be involved with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Let me ask you a question. If there was a kid on your street that had a lemonade stand, okay, and he was Joe's lemonade stand, and then all of a sudden he became Joe's blockchain stand, would you go throw money at him? Would you say, holy crap, you're a blockchain company now, Joe? That's great. Let me give you a ton of money. That's amazing. Of course you wouldn't do that. Nobody would do that. That's stupid. But that's exactly what people are doing here with Long Island Iced Tea, with the Long Island Iced Tea Company, now that it's rebranded itself as Long Blockchain. This is an iced tea company. This is a lemonade stand that has now said, okay, we're going to become a blockchain company. I don't even know what to say at this point. This is just stupid. I had the same kind of reaction when we talked about these people mortgaging their homes to buy Bitcoin. And things are just getting worse, We're seeing people doing things that just make no sense. And, I guess good for them. Good for Long Blockchain for, figuring out a way to, try to, manipulate their share price and probably pump and dump at this point. Who knows? This could literally just be people who own shares of Long Island Iced Tea saying, hey, we're on track to go bankrupt at this point. Why don't we go ahead and pivot into a blockchain company, see our share price explode, capitalize on that, and then give up and walk out of this thing. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. Not only that, guys, these companies, these penny stocks, it's very hard to find credible information about them. They're not regulated by the SEC as major stocks are. They're listed on the major exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. These are not good investments. These are not good companies to invest in. And yeah, this is what's happening. It's happening every day. You see companies that are rebranding themselves and the stock price just explodes. And it's just not going to end well. There's no way this could end well when you're seeing iced tea companies and tobacco companies pivoting into cryptocurrency. This is just humorous to me at this point that they came out with a statement that says, though the company says it doesn't have any agreements in place, the company has no prospects, it has no plans to get involved with other blockchain technology companies. All they have done is change their name and change their website to longblockchain.com. That is all they have done at this point. They're an iced tea and lemonade company, okay? They're selling fucking beverages, okay? They're selling beverages. They're not a cryptocurrency company. And yet, they are getting an influx of investor cash through the stock market. And it's just stupid. It's just stupid. This is exactly the same thing that was going on during the dot-com bubble when you saw companies diving into the dot-com boom and becoming dot-com companies. And we're going to use pets.com as an example of this to talk about what happened during the dot-com bubble. And I know you're looking at me and you're probably saying I was a wee lad during the dot-com bubble. I was six years old at the time. So, but you know, still you can look back at that and draw parallels between these two. And that's what I plan to do at this point. And another thing to mention as well, we talked about this in one of my previous videos, there was another one of these companies that made a hard pivot into cryptocurrencies called the Crypto Company that the SEC actually suspended trading of this stock because they need to investigate them because they have concerns regarding the accuracy and adequacy of information. This is the #1 problem with these micro-cap obscure penny stocks is it's very hard to find credible information on them, and this could happen just as easily with these other stocks here, these tobacco companies and the long blockchain company. The SEC could step in and halt trading of them because something very illegitimate seems to be going on behind the scenes here. And I hope, like I said, guys, I hope nobody with common sense is investing in these companies. There's nothing good that's going to come from this. So let's just briefly talk about pets.com, which is a perfect example of what went on during the dot-com bubble in the early 2000s. So pets.com was a dot-com enterprise that sold pet supplies to retail customers. It began operations in August of 1998 and closed its doors by November of 2000. That is quite impressive to go from open to close in the course of just about 2 years. That is what happened here with pets.com, and that's the same thing that's going to happen with these cryptocurrency companies that are getting involved with something they have no business being involved with. So what is really amazing here is that pets.com went from IPO, initial public offering, on the NASDAQ to liquidation or bankruptcy in just 268 days. That is absolutely insane. That is something to be proud of, as to be able to go from a brand new, newly formed company to going bankrupt in 268 days. That is what happened here with pets.com. Now, why did this happen? There are a number of reasons. The main reason is the fact that they had no idea whether or not the market was interested in this business. It says, despite its success in building brand recognition, it was uncertain whether a substantial market niche existed for pets.com. Pay special attention to this sentence right here. No independent market research preceded the launch of pets.com. So they did no research into the market. They had no idea whether or not the market was interested in a pet's website to buy pet supplies and pet food online. They just went to market. They just rolled on out because everyone was buying into .com companies. And they said, you know what, why don't we make a pets company, you know, to take advantage of this hype. All they were doing was taking advantage of the ignorance of the market. That is exactly what happened with pets.com. And as you guys can see here, they went from IPO to bankruptcy in just 268 days. That is exactly what happened to many of these .com busts in the early 2000s. This was a major contributor to the crash of the 2000 era. And this is truly the same thing that's going to happen with these blockchain companies that have no business being involved with blockchain technology. It's just like these .com companies that got involved solely due to that hype, solely due to that interest in the internet, when they had no business being involved. There was no prior research, no prior background. They just decided to go at it gung-ho with no plan, and this is exactly what happens. And unfortunately, a lot of people out there that are not thinking about what they're doing and investing in things solely due to the name and the hype, you're going to get your money tied up in this, and you're going to lose a lot of money, if not everything, investing in these types of companies. Now, again, at the same time, during this era was when companies like Amazon were formed, which clearly Amazon was a fantastic company. Amazon was a company that emerged during this dot-com era that was a very successful company. I believe the same thing is going to happen right now. We're going to see great companies emerging in this point in time. We're going to see great technologies emerging, but there's also a lot of shit out there. I'd say 90% of it is going to be shit, kind of like what happened in this dot-com era when a lot of companies had no business being involved in this stuff, yet they just wanted to capitalize on the hype. So a little bit more on Pets.com here. During its first fiscal year from February to September 1999, Pets.com earned revenues of $619,000, yet spent $11.8 million on advertising. Pets.com lacked a workable business plan and lost money on nearly every sale because even before the cost of advertising, it was selling merchandise for approximately 1/3 the price it paid to obtain the products. It's like you had a bunch of monkeys running this business. I mean, nothing about this makes any sense. They're selling products at 1/3 the price they're paying to obtain them before factoring costs of advertising. There was no plan here. This was a failure from the beginning. This was destined for failure, and that is the same thing that's going to happen with these companies that are rebranding themselves as cryptocurrency companies. It's the same thing that's going to happen with an iced tea company that pivots into blockchain technology. It's the same thing that's going to happen with a lot of these ICOs that are coming out now. There's a new one every day. I get an email every day about the 175th ICO this week that everyone should go invest their money in. I get a bunch of spam comments on my channel every single day from people talking up the next hot ICO, the next cryptocurrency. A lot of it is just going to be what happened here with the dot-com bubble. I hope you guys are paying attention to this stuff. I hope I'm able to shed some light on this, and I hope you guys are being careful with where you're putting your money if you're involved in blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And again, I just want to restate, I'm not talking about Bitcoin here. I'm not talking about Litecoin, these well-recognized cryptocurrencies. I'm talking about these spin-off businesses that are really just capitalizing on the hype, and it's not going to end well, guys. It's going to be very similar to what we saw happen with the dot-com burst in the 2000s, and I hope you guys are paying attention to this stuff. Anyways, that is all I got for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please drop a like. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to be notified of any future uploads, and as always, I thank you for taking the time to watch this video.